Well, welcome to the end of day 142. Um, it has been a bit of a challenge today to get to camp. And as you might see, I've got a little bit of a camp project going on here. As I was rooting around in the woods today, I ran smack dab into a very pointy branch and ripped my $30 Amazon hiking pants, which these pants have gone 2,100 miles and are still in fantastic shape. So they're great value, and I'm glad I bought these instead of $180 specific hiking pants. But yeah, finally today they sustained some serious damage, and I do have this little sewing kit. This is not a sewing kit for this kind of material, really. This sewing kit is made for. It's a Dyneema thread. It's really meant to um, repair tents, but anything will do in a pinch. So today's end was a complete Jekyll and Hyde from my earlier videos about how wonderful it was. Unfortunately, that didn't last. Um, it was a beautiful day. That first part with the wonderful breeze, and even though I was climbing and there was a lot of altitude gain, um, that gave way to a long descent. Uh, a couple of really nice views of waterfalls in this area. Behind me, you can see some of these really craggy rocks. It still has snow on them, and so like the far scenery has been good, but like I have complained about, whined about actually, what I have whined about very often on this trail is that it seems that any campsite that is viable for through hikers, and by viable I mean like at intervals that at distances that we tend to be doing, they're always at the top of a mountain. I don't know why it is. Maybe that's just my perception too, because I'm frustrated by it. But most of us need to make somewhere in the 18, 19, 20 miles a day category. You do that, not only people do that or need those miles not just because of their schedule, but the simple logistics of not carrying too much food. If you can get somewhere in 3 days at 20 miles, um, you're going to want to do that because it's just going to be so much less effort than carrying an extra day of food. Generally speaking, the general calculation for food is about 2 pounds per day. So it's not an insignificant amount of weight to be adding when you're adding days. We went through this big valley and then started this mammoth, endless, relentless, hot climb. The breeze left. There was not a breath of wind anywhere to be found. The climb was completely exposed. It was very slow because of a lot of rocks and whatnot. And it was over 2,500 feet of climbing. And, I've just reached a point where I reached a point today where I just lost energy, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I seem to have eaten a lot, and, as usual, but I think part of it's mental. I think I'm bloody sick and tired of climbing up a huge mountain and then giving it all away and going straight back down. So that is a really hard mental challenge to do day after day out here. I mean, it's part of the game. and we've been doing it. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we've been doing it for so long now that it just wears. It just wears on you. But so I made it to the top of this climb. I just really had no energy. I felt really kind of low, and looked at the map. And guess what I'll be doing tomorrow? It is almost the exact same profile as the second half of this day. Um, the 2,500 feet I just climbed up the side of this mountain is going to be lost immediately. We're going to go all the way down and then climb all the way back up. And wouldn't you guess that the 20-mile mark is at the top of that climb? See what I mean? I need to go 20. I have 44 miles to go to reach Stevens Pass. I've got really the perfect amount of food for that interval, but I need that's two 20-mile days and a little morning jaunt, uh, on the what will be the fourth day essentially. Um, so I kind of got to do it. I don't really have much of a choice. Um, so all I can do is sort of mentally prepare for that and hope I come up with a little better energy tomorrow. Hope it's not too much of a slog up the mountain. I hate it when really incredibly beautiful days tend to be marred by a lack of energy or a huge climb or something like that because the scenery today was just so magnificent. So so I've already had one meal. I'm trying to eat and drink a lot. Just down the whole thing of ramen with powdered butter, which is my favorite additive. If you've never had powdered butter, well, it tastes exactly like the real thing. And pretty much makes everything better. Kind of like cheese. Uh, the sun has finally gone down. There's still, as I sit here, not a breath of air. And, even up until a couple minutes ago, um, it was just almost uncomfortably hot. So we've had a couple of. I'm kind of like happier to be hot than I would be being in the cold. That's for sure. So I can't complain too much. So I'm going to have another meal in about an hour. It's 7 o'clock now, so I'll just have another kind of a late dinner. Set up my cowboy camp. I'm definitely cowboy camping again. It's gonna be. It feels like it's gonna be pretty dry tonight. Still got a pretty good weather, and I'm just gonna try and get in bed as early as I can. Get some more sleep, and hit it again tomorrow. But first, I must complete this awesome sewing project. This is going to be like, yeah, I mean, this is going to make Frankenstein blush, I think. I don't know. So, until tomorrow, catch you on the climb.